There is people, there are parties, and there is administration. In Indian mind, these three things are distinctly separate. This distinction should go. There is no people, party and administration. There is people, people and people. This is what a democracy means. People who are sitting here in this chair, tomorrow could be walking the street campaigning for a party, day after tomorrow they could be in that chair. This is what democracy means, that you are here today, tomorrow you could be there. So this distinction has to go. These are all easier said than done, to remove these distinctions, to make people understand, because how many people can you even talk to in this country? Because you know only 2 languages. Yes? Maybe I know 3 languages, but how many people will you speak? There are 16, 24 languages in the country. Who are you going to speak, who are you going to leave out? So there are these issues, but it is very, very important. However corrupt, however nonsensical, however rubbish it is important to strengthen 2 or 3 national parties, otherwise there will be no India after 50 years, there will be many countries.
Sadhguru, I actually entirely agree with you, and Lok Satta and I have been always articulating the need to strengthen national parties. The tragedy is they are their worst enemies. So we do require to transform politics. That's why I was so repeatedly pleading that
I don't blame you at all.
Answer,
I wouldn't like to join any national party because we know what's happening and the way it's conducted.
So how
but that is the reality of our nation.
But unless we transform them, that's the reason why I'm pushing this today, unless the pressure comes from the spiritual gurus, from the civil society, from media, that the need of the hour is not merely replacing one with the other, but actual transformation of the nature of politics and building a framework for the unity of India. I entirely agree with you. So
I'm privately, not publicly,
privately,
not announcing to people,
whatever it takes,
giving them that privacy. Privately, we are slowly trying to transform many political leaders in the country. We have successfully worked with a few people, others are slowly coming in, but it's still a long process. It's not something that will happen overnight. A country like India cannot be turned around overnight. If we work as a generation of people, maybe we'll leave a little better country for the next generation. That's where we need to look at. The significant thing… I'm sorry.
Please, after I complete, that's what we'll leave.
The most significant thing right now in the nation is, people have come to a place where they're willing to give up their caste, creed, ideology, everything for economic well-being. This may be described as greed by certain people. I see it as a possibility. There is only one ethos, everybody wants to do economically well. This is an opportunity to transform the nation. When they're economically down, you ask them to leave their religion and come beyond that. You ask them to leave their caste and creed and come beyond that, they will not come, because that net is a security. Belonging to a certain caste, belonging to a certain religion, belonging to a certain community has been their security for centuries, for thousands of years. Suddenly you ask them to come out, they won't come. Only if you throw up a big opportunity and a dream out there, people will crawl out of those nets, risking their life. So economic opportunity is the most important thing right now. Personally, it leaves distaste in my mouth to go on talking and pitching for economic possibilities, because that's not going to transform human life. But right now, if nation has to crawl out of the pit, social, economic and political pit it is in, right now I see the only solution is economic development should happen. It'll come at various costs will be there, there will be a price to pay for that. But we must pay the price, otherwise we'll stagnate where we are.
Sadhguru, that practical wisdom actually is music to my ears. Unless we have such unrelenting focus on economic growth and rapid economic growth, I entirely agree, both political and social problems will only be exacerbated. I think we should give an opportunity to the floor to raise, I'm sure, far more interesting questions. I don't know who will coordinate, somebody must moderate this.
They speak.
Good evening, Pranam Sadhguru, and good evening, Mr. Jayaprakash Narayana.
You must hold the microphone like this.
Here?
Yeah.
Is this good? Okay. I wanted to share my opinion and ask my question. I think everything is economics, everything is business, in all aspects of our life, and I think no loss-making leader or no loss-making system has survived. No loss-making system has survived. And I also think that corrupt leaders are basically very good businessmen.
It'll be good if you come to the question, because
Yes.
people…
Yes, my question was this, that I think that economic leaders or economic needs are our basest needs. And spirituality, I personally think, is our highest need. And in a democracy, we are all leaders. We are all leaders, be it spiritual, be it…
What's the question?
The question is this. The question is, we are in the middle. We are neither the base. Economic needs are not our most primary needs. That, yes, we are above that. As a middle class, we are above that. For us, what we want right now…
It doesn't sound like a question to me.
Yes.
It's more a cry
What's the
of
question?
anguish.
Come to it.
Yes. The question is, how do we find this balance, the balance between this base need and this high need of spirituality? Because I think that we are in the middle, and what we want is an ease in life in this democracy, so that we can all become seekers and concentrate on seeking as opposed to concentrating on surviving. That's my question.
The question is for him, right?
No, it's for you, Sadhguru. The balance is about you. We're all imbalanced people.
Now, I will simplify this. How do I bring a balance between… Right now I am hungry. I am. Right now I am hungry. How to fill this and how to attain to the highest goal, whatever that is, mukti or liberation, or how to fill my belly and how to meditate. How to make these two things happen. You are addressing it as if they're two separate things. Do not address it as two separate things. You are a human being. You are a human being who's come with both the needs. But when you're hungry, if I ask you to meditate, you are not going to meditate. Will you? And I will not ask you to meditate, because I think when a man is hungry, asking him to meditate is vulgar. It's an obscenity. When somebody is hungry, you talk to him about mukti, I think it's obscene. I will not do such a thing. If he's hungry, we must see how first the food should happen. Then only we can talk about another dimension. So do not look at it as two separate things, but physical need is an urgent need. Meditation, you could postpone it to tomorrow. Dinner, you must have today, isn't it? So economics is the need right now, because half the population has still not eaten properly yet. You can talk meditation only to those who have eaten well, not to those who have not eaten well. We don't do such things. That is why Isha has a spiritual aspect and a social aspect. I don't like to do the social thing. If the administration has taken care of all the social needs, I would like to do just the spiritual part. But if I do just the spiritual part, I will leave out half the population. So I am doing the social thing with them. So do not separate it. If your stomach becomes full, immediately the other need will naturally come up within you. I don't have to tell you, you meditate. You will start looking, what do I need to fulfill my life? Because this is the nature of a human being. If you came here as some other creature, stomach full, life settled. Once you come as a human being, stomach empty, only one problem. Stomach full, 100 problems. So, once your stomach becomes full, you will seek other things. You don't have to be told. You will seek anyway. Then other things will come anyway. That's why we are talking so much about economics right now.
I think there is a hint from Sadhguru that we should wind up because he's hungry. Who is next?
No.
Who is next? Yes, this young man. I'll come back to him.
Good evening, Sadhguru and Dr. JP. We are very privileged to have you here. My question is that, as you suggested, we require an intellectual, educated and business outlook leaders
There's
in
so
politics.
many hands looking up. So if you just ask the question rather than reiterating all that happened.
In politics, you said you require a business outlook leaders. That perhaps it means like Instead of people who share 100 rupees, you want people to make 100 to 1,000 rupees and share 500 rupees. That's what…
No, I'm not talking about sharing.
No, actually, that's an outlook.
He said, politicians have spent some 500 crores something. I said, no, they have invested.
Right,
So,
okay.
but the problem is, it is a business, but it's an illegal business. There is no law monitoring it rigidly enough to make it a legal business. Now in United States of America, right now, Barack Obama and Mitt Romney are going around the country raising millions of dollars for their election. But it's a legal business. If he takes $1 more illegally, he'll go to prison. We just have to do that, isn't it?
Right, Guru. Coming to my question, it's like there's been this bipole elections. I went to the campaign because, motivated…
Arrive at the question quickly.
Yeah, because…
Not because I am hungry, because so many hands are going up.
There has to be a background formed for the question because otherwise it's difficult to understand.
No, we are capable of understanding the context.
So finally, the question, if I have to put in a nutshell, then how an intellectual and a person with a business outlook can stand for elections and win? So that's the reason I'm forming a background.
Okay, I will tell you. Please sit down. Please sit down. Now, this culture of economics has still not come. We are in still a culture of charity. We have to bring a culture of economics because you've chosen a market economy. See, this is not a simple decision to make. For the builders of this nation, they chose a socialistic economy because it was more endearing to think in terms of let's share, let's do things better. It's not about you versus me, let us do this, but it did not work. As an idea, it's a great idea, but it's an idea that's failed because humanity is not ready for such a big idea. Right now, we have come to a much grosser idea, okay? Market economy is a gross idea, very crass way of existence, but it's working better than the very refined idea. I'm interested in making it work because ideals on an empty stomach means nothing. I know 400 million people in this country have not eaten one good meal in the last 10 days, probably. So when this is our condition, ideals are a taboo. I'm saying this to him. Ideals are a taboo. Nobody can have the luxury of having ideals. We just have to do what's needed. After everybody has eaten, then we can talk what is our ideal, what is our philosophy, what is our ethic. First, people have to eat because eating cannot be postponed to tomorrow. Philosophy can be postponed to tomorrow, meditation can be postponed to tomorrow, eating cannot be postponed to tomorrow, it has to happen now, isn't it? So for this, once we have chosen our economic model is market economy, please strengthen the market and nothing else but the market. People tell me, what is this? You say you're a spiritual leader, but you are charging for this. I said, I will charge. Somebody who comes who cannot pay, I will do something else. But I want you to understand, if you want something delivered, it costs. Whether you pay for it or somebody else pays for it, it costs. You've gotten used to somebody else paying for it, that is why you don't know how to make use of anything that's offered to you. If you were paying for it, you would make use of it well, isn't it? Yes or no? Right now, rice is free, dal is free, television is free, gas is free. You think you will destroy the work culture of this nation completely. In Tamil Nadu today, so many things are free for essentially for election reasons and populistic democracy that we are doing right now. Yes, when somebody doesn't have anything, you give him something, it's great. But instead of giving something, even if it causes suffering, if you create opportunities where everybody could make money and have the necessary power to buy it, it would be better. Because today, they started from Andhra Pradesh, that's why I'm telling you. Rice came at 1 rupee. A 10 rupee rice if you give it at 1 rupee, who is paying the 9 rupees? Who's asking this question? I'm saying you have chosen a market economy, you cannot do this. It may sound cruel, but there are poor people. The first thing is you are enjoying poverty, this is the biggest problem. Religious people enjoy poverty because they want somebody to serve and go to heaven. Now, businessman does not enjoy poverty. He wants everybody to have purchasing power because otherwise he cannot run his business.
I think three powerful messages are coming from you, Swamiji, today. The first order of priority is rule of law, enforcement of rules and laws and public order. The second order of priority is unity of India. Third is economic growth at any cost. I think that's the take-home
Right
message
now,
today.
till everybody eats economic growth at any cost.
Absolutely.
After that, we can control the costs.
Yes, who has the microphone?
I have.
Somebody must coordinate this.
Hello.
Volunteer.
Namaste all. Thank you, Surya. I'm here.
I have no clue who it is.
JP, I'm here. Black T-shirt at the center.
Okay, here.
Okay, please go ahead.
Okay, as I have very less time, I want to thank Surya. Namaste all. I don't know whether there is any political party in the country. The party's cadre can say, I belong to this party. I am proud to say I voted for Lok Sabha. Before I pose this question, I wanted to say this. I don't know there is any other party in the country like this, so I am very happy for that. My question is, like this, like me, there are a lot of people in this state. First, I am trying to talk about my state, in this state. But why, what the system is hindering? Why we are not able to win more seats? Right now, we just have one legislative. So why can't we have JP as the chief minister or anybody like JP being chief minister? So what is stopping us? So what's Sadhguru's message to the people here? Because everybody is here. They wanted to do something for the society. But I am sure, like me, I am not doing anything. I just think about it. I do nothing. So like me, I guess there are 50% of the people here. So what the message we should get and how we get that education and what we have to do. We are ready to do anything. I am happy the way India is progressing. The media, the RTI, everything is very good. So the question is, the simple finishing thing, we have to get that. So what is the message from you so that we all go to streets and do something for the country? Thank you.
No, he wanted an answer from you. Answers are from you, questions are from us. This is an often asked question. It's not about this party or that. That ethical politics is not sustainable in India. That what we all desire or we claim to desire is not winnable in India is a proven proposition. I can now say with some degree of confidence across the country. The challenge is how to reverse that. That's the anguish of that young man, if I may call you that. Sadhguru, you already mentioned the answer, you gave the answer earlier. We all forget the initial conditions of our democracy because we take the normative democratic institutions and the constitution. We think it should operate the way it operates in other countries after a certain degree of maturity. We have not created the initial conditions, and Sadhguru is repeatedly emphasizing that. Even today, the voters have no notion that they're electing a representative. They think they're electing a monarch. And once elected, he somehow will deliver. We don't care how. No rules, no laws, no procedure. Get it done somehow or other. And that's not merely the failing of the poor people. It is the failing of our class, Sadhguru. It is the failing of the middle classes. It's the failing of the educated. That's the general perception. The second is, Sadhguru, we created an impossible situation where nothing happens without somebody's intervention. And there is perpetual dissatisfaction because even if the elected person wants to deliver, he cannot fulfill the expectations. And therefore, money has become the currency of vote getting. And now in the competition to get the votes, in our kind of electoral system, where one vote more means you win, one vote less means you lose. Look at Tamil Nadu, DMK, ADMK, how they alternate so dramatically. There is a desperation and a competitive pressure to buy the votes. And that's